Dire Docks 100, one of Mario 64 speedrunning's most infamous stars. But the DDD 100 that you know and love did not always look this good. In fact, some of you may not even be aware what the intended strategy is to get all 8 red coins in DDD. Let's take a trip down memory lane, back to the first documented 120-star world record. The oldest recorded 120-star world record is SpiderMan 88 mils with a 2:57.47 in 2004. Now, he did just complete Fire Sea, which means that we will be having a little surprise once we get to the submarine area. But starting off with these 5 coins, as per usual, the swimming obviously not as solid, taking a lot of pauses in the swimming, but the coins in DDD 100, honestly, not too much different. Deciding to go for this first ring immediately instead of getting part of the second ring, which we will see. Really taking his time. The tornado just completely taking him for a ride. And actually using B presses during some of the coin ring here. Now, there are other coins in DDD, but it appears that the coins that we get in the run have been the same. But I guess the routing itself has been solid. However, here's where the surprise happens, actually going over and pressing the block switch, because once you complete Fire Sea, the submarine is gone and replaced by these poles, and this is the intended way to get the 8 red coins. Obviously takes a much longer time having to sit on the pole and ride it back and forth, but there's no way they were going to be using the submarine to get around for these red coins. Taking the poles for one final ride to get over to the blue coin switch and the other red coin in the corner. A whole lot of pole riding. Now, just to get a time down on the board, almost a 6-minute DDD 100, including reds. Uses the pole, the swimming's not that clean, but we gotta start somewhere. But how does it change? Let's check out the next biggest 120-star record, Draghorn's 2:10.45, achieved in 2006, September 14th. DDD 100 comes a bit earlier in the run at this point, which honestly is not a bad idea considering that it is a very difficult star. And currently in 120-star runs, DDD is about halfway through the run. Starting off DDD, he has not completed Fire Sea. The swimming looking a bit more precise here in 2006, still taking his time. And the side flip wall kick with a ledge grab to get up to the first set of red coins. Went for a double jump dive to get the second 2 red coins. And opting to go back up to the sub, then long jumping back for the 4th red. And now it's starting to look very similar to what DDD 100 looks like nowadays. Long jump wall kick to get that red coin. Wow, actually getting the red coin with the wall kick, with one wall kick. Playing it safe, going back on the sub, and then getting the red coin. Wow. Completing DDD 100 in about 3 minutes, almost twice as fast as what we saw from SpiderMan 88 mil. The first 4 red coins that you grab in DDD 100 are not the most difficult. The part that makes DDD 100 so tricky to do, specifically to get all the red coins without using the poles, is the last red coin in the cage, as well as the blue coin switch. The distance of these platforms from the sub is just big enough that it's very, very difficult to land there, to be able to get to either the blue coin switch or to get to the red coin cage. Unfortunately, I'm not able to figure out who found this out, but Draghorn is the first to do it in a world record, using the side of the sub to slide, and just with the right timing, you can get a big enough jump that you can wall kick on this platform, ledge grab, and get the blue coin switch. And once you're able to make it here, you are able to long jump to the red coin cage without too much of a problem. It is a tight jump, and it is easy to fail. However, the hardest part is getting to either the blue coin switch platform or the red coin in the cage platform. And with that, Draghorn was able to cut down the time of DDD 100 a lot. Even though the submarine causes a lot of lag on N64, the amount of time you save outweighs using the poles by a lot. Although we have already seen major improvements from DDD 100, it has already gotten quite fast. The story is far from over. And this next run that we're going to be looking at is a monumental one, not only in terms of DDD 100, but in terms of the game in general. We are looking at Shigeru's 156.19 world record from sometime around September 2010, about 4 years after the previous run. The DDD 100 routing, the execution has improved a lot. Shigeru is an interesting player to look at because he always seemed to have certain strats that were exclusive to him that no one else did. Not because it was slower, but because they were too hard. Getting right into it, immediately starts off with arguably the best way to get these 5 coins. And this is when we first see a rerouting of the rings, getting a first half of the second ring, and then moving over to the first ring to get the half of the first ring. Allows you to basically skip the second ring completely and just much smoother movement through these coins. Does miss a coin, but you can miss 1 coin, of course, in DD 100. Well, what you're gonna see next might shock you. Moving over to this side flip. Now, I wish that I could have gotten my reaction on video, but I audibly said, holy shit, when I saw Shigeru going for the triple jump on the back of the sub here. It almost inspires me to do it myself. The man improved the movement through these red coins immensely. Compared to what we saw from Draghorn, doing a double jump dive through the air, then getting back on the sub, then long jumping back for the 4th red coin. Although the setup for the triple jump takes a bit of time and the turnaround and getting back on track after the 4th red does take some time, insanely fast for 2010. And this is when we see another improvement. Shigeru does continuous wall kicks without going back on the sub. Jumps up the front of the sub, however, he's jumping up the right side, which you don't see from anyone nowadays. And from here on out, it's basically unchanged from Draghorn, however, maybe just a little bit cleaner execution. Get in from the 100 coin star to the red coin star. Shigeru still saves about 30 seconds over Draghorn's DDD 100. A whopping 2-minute, 30-second DDD 100 time. Absolutely insane run. Moving on to the next world record that I could watch. You know, some of these world records, unfortunately, have been lost to the sands of time. A familiar face, Batora, in December of 2010, got a 152.02, 4 minutes faster than Shigeru's world record from September 2010. Batora heavily improved the swimming, especially the swimming in the first half. It got so much cleaner. Batora doing some movement that I have never seen in my life. After the line of 5 coins you get from jumping out of the water, does a long jump which looks like an accident, but actually a setup to get a quick double jump and the ledge grab. Does not opt to do the triple jump on the back of the sub, which is not surprising considering that strat. I still think that strat's insane, especially that long ago. However, he does improve upon what we saw from Draghorn. Instead of going back on the sub to get the 4th red, he wall kicks off the fin, which you will still see nowadays. Batora does a strat that is used even nowadays. However, we do a slightly different variation, kicking the wall in order to get the 6th red coin, and then long jump wall kicking to get the 7th red. And instead of going on the right side of the front of the sub, Batora goes for the left side, which honestly is a bit safer. There's the red cage that you can sometimes hit. And doesn't miss the wall kick ledge grab to the blue coin platform, obviously going to net him a lot of time save over Shigeru. To summarize the things from Batora's run, the beginning 41 coins, the swimming at the beginning of the 100 is basically the same. Honestly, it is a little bit slower than what we saw from Shigeru execution-wise. The double jump wall kick to get up to the first red coin platform is super interesting to me. I've never seen that before. Or a wall kicking on the back fin instead of going back on the sub for the 4th red is a technique still used today. Kicking the wall for the 6th red is also a technique we still use today. And this run, although it is not faster than what we saw from Shigeru, it still had some interesting strats and developments that would continue to be used after the fact. The next run we are looking at is Elmo, aka Irumo's 151.38 record set on February 15th, 2011. Not too much notable here from Elmo's record except for one major thing, and that is the forgotten strat, the forbidden strat, the legendary long jump from the top of the sub. An old strat that I've never seen someone actually do in a run. I just know that At one point in time, they did it. I'm pretty sure the strat is slower than doing the slide on the back of the sub to get to the blue coin platform. It's just an interesting strat. It's a pretty tough long jump that barely works, being able to long jump from the very tip top of the sub over to barely ledge grabbing the red coin platform. The next run we'll be looking at is another Elmo world record of 149.49. An absolutely massive run in the history of Mario 64. It broke the 150 barrier. Elmo is a player who's kind of known as being pretty safe, but he's extremely consistent. This run was achieved on May 19th, 2011. Has a whopping 12 million views on YouTube. Craziest amount of publicity a 120-star speedrun has gotten. You may be thinking not much changed from the past 2 or 3 months. However, things have definitely gotten cleaner. The first thing that struck me was these 2 lines of 5 coins, getting all 5 of the coins and not having to stop swimming for the second line. Besides the minor improvement on the second vertical line of 5 coins, getting them all in one go and not having to stop swimming, he does go for the triple jump on the back fin. He missed it in his 151.38. However, lands it here in the 149 and still does the dive rollout after the fact, which is a pretty confusing thing to me because that triple jump is able to clear that gap without the dive. And of course, he's still doing his legendary long jump at the end. Not too much to note here, however, I do find it very interesting. He does the triple jump on the back fin. Although the routing would not change too much on Honey's 148.50 world record achieved on October 1st, 2011, there was one major change. This whole conundrum of having to get Mario from the sub to either the red coin platform or the blue coin platform. We saw Elmo's legendary long jump. We saw Draghorn's sliding on the side of the sub and wall kick ledge grabbing the blue coin platform. But the strategy that you have probably seen in speedruns yourself is uncovered here. The triple jump dive to get to the red coin platform. Definitely a very nice time save, a huge breakthrough. Not only is the triple jump dive faster than the legendary long jump and sliding on the side of the sub, and it is safer. I would argue that this strat, out of all 3 of them, is the most lenient. After the triple jump dive, Honey then kicks the wall in order to get the red coin, which instantly allows him to start running and then long jump over to the blue coin platform. And the specific movement that we'll see on these platforms will change a little bit. Although the triple jump dive requires a little bit of a setup, it is still very fast and very safe. It will be interesting to see how runners develop and adjust their movement after the triple jump dive, which we will see. Next, we'll be taking a look at Nero's 148.27 from November 16th, 2011. In Nero's run, he does something that I have not seen out of any of these runs yet, and that is, after he gets out of the water, he goes for a triple jump wall kick dive. The dive from the wall kick allows you to skip the ledge grab. And not only that, but he also doesn't do too much of a setup before attempting to go for the triple jump. He does miss it. However, I do want you to notice the backup he does here. A backflip, and then jumps back up to the sub and slides down to get to the 4th red. Other than that, not much else is different. It's basically very similar to Honey's run. There's many different ways to get to this red coin star after getting the 100 coin star, and they're all very similar in speed. However, there are some that are faster than others. But when it comes to human execution, a lot of them are pretty similarly paced. At this point, DDD 100 is pretty well put together. From this point on in the video, we're going to be looking at pretty small optimizations that I think are still very interesting, but you can only save so much time. And so at this point, the time saves from the changes are not going to be that big, but they are still going to be pretty cool. In Honey's 147.05 achieved on March 2nd, 2012, we would see a very minor improvement that actually seems to mess up Honey. He does do the triple jump dive on the back of the sub, however, for some reason falls off on the side to the left. But dropping the dive here is definitely the move. As you can see, you very easily clear the gap. But that is the first non-dive after the triple jump on the back of the sub. Honey would get a chance at redemption, however, in his 145.41 achieved 5 months later, August 10th, 2012. He does the triple jump on the back of the sub, and he continues moving, doesn't even change the camera, doing the long jump to the side, not only reducing some lag from looking at the sub, but moving extremely fast here. A massive time save over doing the dive rollout, as we can see from Elmo. Up until this point, I've pieced together DDD 100's history through watching old world records and figuring out what changed where. In 2014 is when we can start looking at the raw history data of DDD 100, thanks to SF64 Ideas, which is a super awesome website that CircumArc has put together. Shows ideas, who came up with the idea, and a little snippet of the idea. So it's one thing to come up with the idea, and it's another thing to execute it and begin pioneering it for runs. No notable improvements that I was able to see in DDD 100 until Cheese would achieve the first 138 in 2019, August 4th. And it was only a minor change at this point, this many years later. The idea was first found in May of 2018 by Kaiman. By changing the movement slightly through these first 5 coins out of the water to a couple of dives, it puts you in the perfect position to do a side flip wall kick dive onto the first platform for the first 4 red coins, as opposed to 2 long jumps and a side flip wall kick off of the red grate, saving about half a second, which again, it's hard to put things into perspective, but a half second saved on something like that, which is not a huge change and not too hard of a difference to make, is a very nice find. It would take over a year before this idea would show up in a run. However, it did in Cheese's first 138. Although instead of doing 2 dives, Cheese did a long jump, the time save was definitely still there. And even after doing the dive onto the platform, manages to do a triple jump on the back of the fin, which pretty much completes the back of the sub movement. There has been nothing found since then that improves it, and this is the final evolution, at least of this portion of the star. Not only was time being saved because of a ledge grab being skipped, which happened sometime between 2018 and 2014, it was also saving a large amount of time by side flipping and wall kicking a little bit sooner, ending up saving in total probably a second over what we saw in Honey's run. Another large find would happen in DDD 100 only a day later from Saxdale on May 16th, 2018. Instead of doing the triple jump dive into the red cage and immediately kicking the wall into the red coin, instead brushing against the wall, running around, and lining up Mario in a way that allows him to immediately long jump wall kick off of the wall and dive rollout onto the blue coin platform, saving almost half a second over the old movement. This idea would not be shown off until Liam's first world record of a 138.43 achieved on March 31st, 2020. It is clear and easy to see that this strat is much faster, entirely skipping the ledge grab on the blue coin platform. Although, with each new integration, sometimes it becomes more difficult. And in this situation, I would definitely say that this strat is harder than the triple jump dive and then kicking on the wall. There are 2 major things that can go wrong with this strat. The first one being, if you wait too long to long jump, the camera will actually slightly shift as Lakitu is getting pushed against the wall, slightly changing your angle and not allowing Mario to wall kick with a straight down angle. The second thing that can go wrong, of course, is just not long jumping in time altogether and falling off of the platform. However, for a half second time save, I would say that this is not too hard of an adaptation to make, yet it has killed plenty of my runs and plenty of others as well. The next improvement on DDD 100 would actually come from the swimming in the beginning. On April 12th, 2019, a comparison video was shown using slightly different movement to get the first 2 vertical lines of coins in DDD 100. Instead of pausing your swimming in order to get the second vertical line of coins, by swimming very precisely, you could continue swimming at full speed while getting both lines of coins and moving forward, saving about half a second. Interestingly enough, in Cheese's old world record, he had tried to go for this faster swimming, however, seemed to slip up and missed one of the coins, as the swimming is very hard to get all of the coins. I was able to show it off successfully with my own world record that would come on May 29th, 2020 in my 138.28. I did mess up one of my swims, however, the idea is there, saving somewhere probably between 0.2 and 0.5 seconds, depending on how well it's done. At this point, we have reached the current or final evolution of the beginning swim-in for DDD 100. There is only one minor change that I could only find from Cheese's world records in regards to the very first 5 coins, a strat in which you start from the back coins and turn around, as opposed to getting the 5 coins and then turning around. The other former records in Bernhard's 4-way comparison, it does appear that he goes slightly faster to get to the 6th coin versus the rest of our runs. We are almost fully complete on the story of DDD 100. However, there is a few minor things left. I am not able to pinpoint the founders of these ideas. However, I thank them dearly as they allowed me to strengthen my DDD 100 for the final 2 changes that we will see to the star. After the 5th red coin, there has always been lots of different options. Players may have wall kicked in between the walls and then got their red coins. We've seen Cheese kick the wall, land back on the sub, then long jump wall kick to get the 7th red. However, a nice hybrid strat was found by, I wish I had the name. Instead of landing back on the sub for a long jump wall kick, you are actually able to slide on the sub and immediately jump into a wall kick jump dive to get the 7th red coin, saving a cheeky little bit of time. And the camera setup for the triple jump dive onto the 8th red coin platform. For a long time, runners always set up this triple jump by moving Mario either left or right, turning him back and forth to get the camera angle just right. However, if you mash C left as you're coming up the front of the sub and tap C left as you are finally on the sub, you get a very nice camera setup, allowing you to hold basically straight upright and do the triple jump dive all in one motion, not needing Mario to stop, stand still, and set up the angle. After getting the 100 coin star, there is also many different options for movement. However, they all end up placing at around the same speed. You can go for a triple jump dive into the star. Cheese goes to the side and does a double jump dive rollout. However, these are all very comparable in speed, and it's more of a preference thing. I don't know what the future is for DDD 100. However, I'm sure that it does not stop here. Knowing Circumark, knowing the community, there will eventually be some kind of adaptation, whether it's extremely hard or not. The game continues to get its boundaries pushed, and although DDD 100 looks extremely nice and that there isn't much room for improvement now, there's no telling what the future may hold. However, the one lead that I may have in regards to DDD 100 and its future is this snippet from Circumark's All Ideas 2019 video. If you've never seen these videos, they are absolutely fascinating, and they truly just go to show how much Circumark loves this game, his passion to improve it. It is a 5-hour, 20-minute video showing all various different ideas Circumark has for improvements, slight changes. In this idea, Circumark shows a different route in which you go to the blue coin platform in the middle of the star and end by getting the 8th red where we would normally get the 7th red coin. Getting the star on the front of the sub and doing a frame-perfect single jump dive up the front of the sub and sliding around back to get the 2nd star, showing what appears to be a massive time save. However, this does not mean that you're going into streamers' chats and telling them to do this strat, because it is certainly not consistent. This is a strat that I don't know if we'll ever see humans do. However, it is interesting to show off. The main reason being the single jump that is frame perfect after getting the 100 coin star. If you fail to hit A on the first frame, Mario will immediately slide off the front of the sub, and it will no longer be saving any time. So that's the story of DDD 100. It is a star with a lot of different complex moving parts that have slightly changed over the years into what is now what you see in runs nowadays. It has taken many tweaks, many hours of practice and dedication. However, it is now a star that does not appear to have much more room for improvement, but I always keep an open mind. Even with the stars that you think are 100% set in stone, you never know what runners may find. However, after having gone through the history and watched all these runs, I am making a commitment to learn the triple jump on the back of the sub. So you can stop asking in my chat for me to start doing it, because Liam and Cheese and Batora do it. I don't know if Batora does it, but I know Liam and Cheese do it because everyone tells me every single day. Although sometimes it feels that way. This is about Mario 64 speedrunning and its roots and its history and paying homage to those before me. Let me know down below, what history would you like to see next? What history do you think would be really interesting? Thank you for watching. Peace. Bye.